Thank you, Toastmaster Rajkaran. I'm really delighted to have such wonderful introductions from you every Saturday. Keep them going. It'll keep me elevated and motivated to start the address each Saturday. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good evening. Much like many of you would believe, I also feel that there's a lot of learning in the air if only one cares to keep one's ears and eyes open. In our neighborhood, we have a bunch of kids who occupy the premises around the building every day and virtually create a racket. They really get on my nerves most of the time. But then looking at the flip side of things, I see one of the kids, a youngster, probably the youngest of the lot, who, while playing cricket or football, orders all his teammates around, gets the field placings done, decides who is to start the proceedings, who is to end. And I observed that at this young age, he has been displaying the art of child leadership, or I would say the art of leadership amongst elders. And that for me was a great lesson to understand how kids are these days to be able, I won't use the word throwing the weight around, but to be able to dictate terms on their own terms. I remember our teachers in school and our professors in college. In fact, in school, I remember some of the teachers who were so dedicated and committed that they not only were in school for my own term, but I believe that they spent almost the entire life teaching all the students because of their dedication, passion, and commitment. In all the books that I've read about businessmen, about industrialists, about successful people, while the one thing that has always stood out is about their perseverance and hard work in how they have been able to bring the businesses to such levels of success. But there have been some businessmen who not only made their wealth and power through their businesses, but in equal measure have given back to the society. One such being Azim Premji, about whom we keep hearing about these days. Last week we had a Toastmaster, I don't know whether she's there at this meeting. She has been a member of Bombay Toastmasters for a very long time. In fact, probably a founder member as well. And I was talking to her yesterday, and she expressed her desire to be part of a club where she can give back in equal or more measure than what she has got from Toastmasters. She said that basically she has been a housewife, though of course academically well endowed in terms of certificates, diplomas, and other successes. But she's remained a housewife. But if at all, she's derived maximum learning in her life, she said it has been from Toastmasters, where she achieved the level of DTM, area governor, and quite a few other titles. And she says that she's at a stage in her life where she wants to give back, where she wants to mentor, where she wants to share all her Toastmasters and life and learning experiences with others. So I thought that really is something which makes us think that while we derive so much pleasures, so much learning in our lifetime, how much of it do we really give back? And that is a point I want all of you to ponder about while I begin this session. And before I turn it over to our Toastmaster of the day, I wish to welcome all the guests who have assembled here this evening. And I would like to call some of them to say a few words about what brought them to the meeting. May I request any of the guests to speak? Guest Palak Modi.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hey Babu.
Hi.
Hi. So as you said, my name is Palak, and Chaitya introduced me to this club. I don't believe he's around. So my first motive of joining the club is that I am good with prepared speeches, but what happens as you grow and work in life is that you have to be ready with extemporaneous kind of demos and presentations. So that's where the depth of communication skills is seen. So that is what I'm here to polish and make sure it is not rusty.
Okay. Thank you, Palak. I believe you are at the right place. In fact, I'm sure you are at the right place. And we do hope that whatever you have planned to set out in terms of goals will at least be fulfilled to a great extent at Bombay Toastmasters. So, welcome once again.
Thank you, Babu. Thank you. Yeah.
And now on to our second guest, Sanchit. Sanchit Gadre, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Sanchit. Yeah.
I knew about Toastmasters since few years, and I always wanted to join but couldn't. But now I recently got a job, and so I thought it would be best if I develop some leadership skills. And the general feedback I receive from my coworkers is that I should speak more and I should be more expressive. So I don't know. And recently, my close friend joined a Toastmaster in Aurangabad, and he shared his experience, and he recommended that I should join one as well. So that's why I'm here, and I'm looking forward to a great session.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sanchit.
Thank you, Babu.
We have Anshul. Now, he's not mentioned as a guest, but I'm pretty sure that he's a guest at Bombay Toastmasters. Anshul, are you a Toastmaster
Yeah.
somewhere? Or
No,
don't tell
I'm
me you
I'm
joined
only the
Bombay Toastmasters yesterday.
no, I am just only the guest.
Okay. Yeah, can you hear from you?
Uh, and I am Anshul, a chartered accountant. I joined the Toastmaster because of its goodwill that is created throughout the year. I had physically attend one meeting in Bombay, and already joined the WhatsApp group. And from whenever I came to know that there is a meeting, I'm eager to join that.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to
Yeah.
Bombay Toastmasters.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, all the guests, and we do hope that you have a wonderful 2 hours with us this evening. And now let us get on with our main session. And to take us forward today, we have a very passionate Toastmasters who has recently completed a Toastmasters program within the district called Gurukul, and he's quite excited about it. And perhaps it is the learning experience that he has gained from there that has been a huge driving factor for him going ahead in future, for him to try and start not only experimenting with some of the theories that he has learned there, but to see if he can share some of those ideas and experiences with us here in the club and in future as a Toastmaster. He is an investment manager helping a family office manage their portfolio, and his personal interests include chess, instrumental music, and reading non fiction books. I'm sure you would have guessed who this Toastmaster is. Our club treasurer, our very dear Toastmaster, Chetan Wadia. Over to you.
Thank you, thank you, Babu. Thank you very much. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Thank you,
Good
presiding
evening.
officer, for that inspiring introduction. Good evening to you. Well, I'm the Toastmaster for the day today. I'm going to conduct this session where we have a three and going to talk on the theme Indian cultures and lifestyle. But before we start
Chetan, you are
everything, there are
barely
three
audible.
segments to any. Now I'm audible. Is it
Yeah,
better now?
better.
Better? Okay. I'll do this one. I'll do this one. Well, we have three segments in any Toastmasters meeting. First, we have the prepared speeches, whereby the speaker will give a speech as a part of the curriculum within the pathways for a given time as may be available. Then we have a table topics where you can practice your impromptu speaking. And the third segment, and very important, the evaluation, where a general evaluator along with this team of evaluators will evaluate the prepared speech and also give a feedback on the overall meeting for the day. Well, Indian cultures and lifestyles. People over the last 20 years, a lot has changed in our lifestyle. And as we grow older, the appreciation for the lifestyle of our parents and grandparents only increases with every passing year. Thanks to coronavirus, the world has learned the importance of greeting each other with two folded hands, like this. Moreover, a recent American research published a paper on intermittent fasting. Well, a tradition part of our Indian culture since the beginning, as far as we can remember. Now I want to ask you questions to all of you, and you can type in the chat box and let me know. How many of you sit on the floor and have your food, either lunch or dinner? Does any one of you in the group have a sit on the floor? Okay, we have one person.
Sometimes,
okay,
not always, but I have.
Okay, Babu is 2, Palak Modi is 1, third. Okay, we have 3 people out of 20 do that. Let me tell you people, there are some health benefits of having a food while you sit on the floor. It helps there are scientific reasons for doing so. They help in digestion. It's a good leg exercise. And most importantly, it relaxes the mind while you have the food. Well, we should look at the various aspects of Indian culture and its health benefits in the subsequently the meeting. Now, before we start the theme, let me introduce my tag team, what we call the timer, the hour counter, and the grammarian. The timer for today is Toastmaster Nivedita. And so can we have Toastmaster Nivedita on the board, please? Okay, when I asked the Toastmaster Nivedita, she talked about the all-important yogasana that we have started practicing last June 21st is the International Yoga Day, which is started in India. And she said that doing Surya Namaskar is what she likes the most. And she would like to practice as and when she can. I totally agree with the Toastmaster Nivedita. Over to you. Can you give a brief about the timer's role for the day?
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, and very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. In Indian tradition, time is considered as a mere illusion, emphasizing the timeless nature of reality. Coming to Toastmaster, we have to follow the time and give our speeches within the allotted time. So as a timer, my duty is to time prepared speeches, table topics, and speech evaluation during this meeting. So when the speaker reaches minimum time, I will show the green card. When the speaker reaches midpoint, I'll show the yellow card. And when the speaker reaches maximum time, I'll show the red card. The speaker will get 30-second grace before the minimum time and after the maximum time. And I will give the timing report when called up. Thank you and over to you. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Anindya. Now the second important person, the hour counter. When I asked the Toastmaster Anurag Som about the Indian culture lifestyle he cherishes the most, the answer was most detailed. I think he gave me actually a speech structure when I asked him the question, but I like that. But you gave a very detailed response. What he said is that he believes they practice the earlier and we practice the Ayurveda in our lifestyle, the better it is, because it has no side effect virtually. And it also improves in your immunity. So over to you, Toastmaster Anurag Som.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and guest. While talking, we end up using inappropriate interjection, which is actually irritating for the listeners. So the objective of the counter or my role is to identify these words and submit it to the Toastmaster. So the purpose of our counter is to listen all the speakers and note the number of mentioned speaker errors for each participant. Word sound uses crutches such as filler words such as well, long phrases used as fillers and not as a necessary part of a sentence structure, connecting words such as and so. Word may be inappropriate interjection, example and, but, or actually. Sound may be or as the counter, I'll be also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, example, I, or this means. So that is, these are the words. I'll be noting it down and submitting it to the Toastmaster when asked for. Thank you. Over to you, Chetan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag Som. Now, and the very important grammarian for the day. When I asked this Toastmaster series Barwe about the um, Toastmaster series Barwe about what the Indian culture lifestyle is cherished, his answer was very simple and very relevant. Wash your hands before you eat anything. I think there is a saying that the majority of the disease can be avoided if you just simply wash your hands before you eat anything. So, so let's hear about what the role of the grammarian would do for the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Series Barve.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, Toastmaster Day, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guest. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note on any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce word of the day. Today's word of the day is erudition, having or showing knowledge that is gained by studying. And you say example of using this word is the range of his erudition is wide. So each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian report when called upon during the meeting, at the end of the meeting, and also report on the usage of word of the day. Thank you, Toastmaster Day. Over to Toastmaster Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Series. I just want to request one thing. Can you type in this word of the in the
Yeah.
chat box for just for everyone to have a reference? Okay. Okay. So that was a tag team timer, our counter and grammarian. Let's begin. Now now we start now the first important segment for the today's meeting, the prepared speeches. We have two speeches for the day. As per the agenda, both of them have the same time given 5 to 7 minutes. So let me call upon the timer first, Nivedita Parulekar, to give so that both the I would request both the speakers to note the timing guidelines the timer would give now, because that will be applicable to your speech. So over to you, over, over to you, timer, Nivedita.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. When the speaker will reach 5 minutes, I'll show the green card. When speaker will reach 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow card. And when speaker will reach 7 minutes, I'll show the red card. So there will be 30-second grace before the green card, that is before 5 minutes, and after 7 minutes. So the speech which is completed between 4 minutes 30 seconds and 7 minutes 30 seconds will be hold for qualification. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, timer Nivedita. I would request speaker to pin the screen of the timer so that they can see the timer cards when they are giving their speech. Okay. Okay. We have two speakers. So our first is by Toastmaster Vasudeva Iyer. When I asked about Vasudeva about the tradition which the youngster is to follow, his answer was practical. Have food in the day as early as and the night as early as possible, so that there is enough time of digestion and you can have a very healthy life in the time to come. Now, every speech in Toastmaster, there is an evaluator. So let me call upon the evaluator first, Toastmaster Yashokrita Jain, to highlight the speech objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Yashokrita Jain.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chetan. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Chetan.
Okay. Can we have the spotlight on the first speaker, Vasudeva Iyer, please? Okay, Vasudeva, can you see the timer cards? Nivita, can you just change your screen for a second? Green now. Can you see green, yellow, red?
Yes, I can see the change in
Okay.
colors.
Toastmaster Vasudeva Iyer, a valuable inheritance. A valuable inheritance, Toastmaster Vasudeva Iyer. Over to you.
Is my voice and screen
Yes, you are.
visible?
Yes, everything visible.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
So I'll just share screen also if you can confirm that. So, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Chetan, and a very good evening to all the members and guests present today. I hope you all have had a great evening, great week so far. Uh, Great week so far. Let me ask you all a question. What does heritage mean to you? While you think about this question, I would like to share my thoughts on the topic. To me, heritage means that it is a gift that we have inherited from our forefathers and is a symbol of the shared roots that have evolved over the many years and centuries that have passed. Through my speech today, I would like to take you all on a journey through time to revisit some of this heritage in order to develop a deeper appreciation for this. We begin our journey much closer to home in a small town called Dehu in Pune district. The town of Dehu significant importance in the cultural fabric of as it's believed to be the birth of Sant Tukaram. The photo or the place that you're seeing in front of you currently is the actual home of Sant Tukaram. Sant Tukaram is believed to have been born in the early 1600s and is responsible for authoring many spiritual texts, also known as Abhangas, which are recited even today and form a rich part of the cultural heritage of Maharashtra. Having visited this site, let us move to our next location, which is the Ellora Caves in Aurangabad district. The this destination is a very special place as it is a lovely example of the exemplary craftsmanship of our forefathers. The location that you're seeing in front of you is the Kailasanatha temple, and as the name suggests, is dedicated to God Shiva and can be dated back almost 1200 years. The key feature of this temple is that it is a monolithic structure, which means that it has been carved out of a single stone. The entire structure that you're seeing in front of you is carved out of a single rock and has some beautiful and delicate carvings adorning it, which depict scenes from day-to-day life all the way up to the epics like the Ramayana. Now, having witnessed our forefathers' ability to not only speak through the written word, but also through the carvings on something as tough as a stone, let us move to our next and the last destination for the day. The destination that we are about to visit is a very significant place because in to me, it is a lovely blend of art and architecture and shows another attribute and heritage that our forefathers have left behind for us. The location that we are about to visit is the Virupaksha temple. The Virupaksha temple is located in Hampi in Karnataka. This temple, just like the Ellora caves, is dedicated to Shiva. Another commonality between these two sites is that both these locations, Ellora and the Virupaksha temple, are recognized UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is basically a global recognition of the excellence of the craftsmanship on display. And the Virupaksha temple, as I mentioned, is dedicated to God Shiva. And what you are seeing in front of you is the Rajagopuram of the temple. What does the Rajgopuram mean? That basically means the main entrance. That's what welcomes you when you are in front of this site. While we all appreciate the beauty of this gateway, it would be interesting to note that the Virupaksha temple is believed rather to be the presiding deity of the erstwhile Vijayanagara Empire, which was most famously ruled by Raja Krishnadevaya along with his very famous advisor Tenali Raman. The Virupaksha temple can be dated back almost 1100 years. The Raja Gopuram in front of you is 9-tiered and 50 meters in height. Having visited all these sites, I would like to bring our short journey to a conclusion by stating that the heritage that we have is precious and immeasurably valuable. It has been inherited or passed down to us by our forefathers with a faith that we would understand and appreciate its value in our life. Another point that I would like to highlight is that the destinations that we have visited brings me back to the earlier point of shared roots as well. The destinations that we all visited are different by nature, but they have a common underlying theme, the theme of creativity, whether it's in terms of the written text or like the Abhangas of Sant Tukaram or the delicate carvings on the Ellora caves. Lastly, I would like to just conclude my speech by saying that we are very fortunate to be part of a country that is endowed with such rich heritage, and uh, it and this gives us a reason to legitimately make an effort to appreciate its value and pass it down to our next generation, just like how our forefathers passed it down to us. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Chetan.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vatibhai. I think your entire speech also was very knowledgeable, knowledgeable to all of us.
Chetan, louder.
Hello, your entire speech was very. We gained a lot of knowledge out of that, and it links with the theme for the day: Indian cultures and lifestyle. So now we have 30 seconds to give feedback to Toastmaster Vasudevaya in the private chat box. All right. Now we have the second speech for the day, Toastmaster Ankit Satanekar. Now, when I asked about him about the Indian tradition, he said, and I agree, use of copper vessels and using turmeric in the food has a lot of health benefits. And trust me, people, to some extent, this is responsible for a better immunity against the coronavirus. Now, to evaluate his speech, we have a very seasoned Toastmaster and the senior to all of us, Toastmaster Sunil Agrawal. May I invite Toastmaster Sunil Agrawal to highlight the speech objectives for Toastmaster Ankit?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Since you have visited the gods, the devil must have his due. Today's speaker in the true tradition of culture, has chosen a topic by accident or design, as there's a tremendous debate on all the channels, that he has chosen on the culture of mentoring in Toastmasters. In the Level 2 P3 series of innovative planning, the speaker intends to talk how Toastmasters mentoring and his previous experience as a protege has helped him become an erudite speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil Agrawal. Toastmaster, can you have the spotlight on Toastmaster Ankit, please? Okay, Ankit, can you check? Can you just check your audio and you're visible for sure? Can you check your audio, please?
Check.
Yes, you are audible now. Can you see the timer card? Timer Nivedita.
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, green. Okay, you can see that? Okay. Toastmaster Ankit Satanekar, a tale of two mentors. A tale of two mentors, Toastmaster Ankit Satanekar. Over to you.
Why do I even need one? You have read my blogs. I write them, I edit them, and they are pretty good. Don't you think speeches would be the same? I retorted when the club's vice president stated that I shall be assigned a mentor to assist me in my journey of Toastmasters. Dear Toastmaster of the day, guests, and fellow speech artists, is it me alone that had such a question before delivering that first speech? It took my VP Ed an hour to make me convinced that the mentor won't be just reviewing your speeches, but polish your existent public speaking and leadership skills. I impulsively thought, oh my God, another person to let me know that I am not good enough. But Toastmaster Manish Kumar Singh did break that stereotype. There was hardly anything common between us, except for the fact that we both were tormented in the crazy world of Indian IT sector. While he struggled through the day at the office, I had to slog it off in the night shift. Hence, we could only sync our short meetings in the evenings. And trust me, because of that, most weird places were chosen for dry runs. Inside a cubicle, in an empty meeting room, or even a secluded place in the food court. The mentor had a clear message for me. Ankit, do not feel awkward to deliver your speech anywhere. And I soon realized that he was right. Mentors were not just for reviewing speeches. He used to throw random table topics at me, few generic and few MBA interview types. He used to continuously gauge my interest levels and my comfort levels with the different genre of topics and suggested tips to sharpen my skills. It was here that I discovered my comfort with humor. And not only my speeches, but also the roles I took were keenly observed by him, and the notes sent to me on WhatsApp the same night. I later realized that the approach Manish had adopted for me was different from his other mentees. He believed that he cannot expect all to follow the same style of delivery. In this, he unknowingly taught me a great lesson. Different situations need different approaches. Life then took a surprising turn for both of us. We both left the company on the same day. He went to pursue his MBA, and I took the road back to my hometown to start my new job. Texts and calls are rare today, but Toastmasters always finds a mention. A new city meant a new club. While I was a self-proclaimed spoiled brat of a corporate club, the Bombay Toastmasters Club came as an unexpectedly delightful community club.
And guess what? This time, it was yet another Manish who would have to mentor me right from the beginning. The first task at hand for Toastmaster Manish Kamdar was to break my cocoon of introversion and help me start mixing up in this new crowd, in this new club. Speech, speech scripts are now sent on mail and not on WhatsApp. Does this mean that we have both turned into thorough professionals, or is it that we both are turning old? Through our conversations and social media updates, I understood his passion for cycling and music. While he grew up listening to the melodies of Kishore Kumar and R.D. Burman, which he is so passionate about. Even I am blessed to be the witness of two modern day magicians of the art, Hriday Singh and Aditya Pratik Singh Sisodia. Do you all look confused? These are the original names of Yo-Yo, Honey Singh and Badshah. Another common thing is that we both are grammar Nazis and absolutely love to roast the silly usage of the English language. I have witnessed that Toastmaster Manish Kamdar is one who would love to teach you things practically. He does not believe in those long emails or the meeting rooms. And to my delight, my speech content is reviewed judiciously and recommended changes are communicated without creating more confusion. This, my dear friends, is my tale of two mentors, people who share the same first name, mentoring the same person, and yet so diverse in their approach. I was indeed lucky enough to share few aspects of my life in common with theirs. Their words and erudition, in turn, have made me a better mentor and not just limited to the world of Toastmasters. And as I believe that if I'm ever faced with the question that I had posed to my VP education, I'm sure this line from Bob Proctor would come to my rescue then. A mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself and helps bring it out for you. What do you say, Toastmaster of the day?
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. I think mentoring indeed helps. I think I too have a very great mentor in the Bombay Toastmasters, Parag Karve. I think he has his own style, and he also helped me a lot in what I am today. Now,
Chetan, louder.
Sorry. I so 30 seconds to Toastmaster to give feedback to Toastmaster Ankit. All right. Oh, okay, I'm going to make two statements right now, and I want all of you to type in the chat box which one do you think is more appropriate. First, drink warm water and take a bath in cold water. Second, drink cold water and take a bath in warm water. I repeat. First statement is drink warm water and take a bath in cold water. Second, drink cold water and take a bath in warm water. Which one do you think is appropriate? Type 1 or type 2? One. I had two responses.
First, one.
Drink warm water. Drink warm. Both.
Yeah.
Drink warm water. Type 2. Our count Anurag so much the difference. It depends upon where you are. That's the that's a diplomatic answer.
What
Okay,
about those who are always in hot water?
Huh?
What about those who are always in hot waters?
That's a different kind of species, Sunil. I think all of you knew the right was saying, because it's been said that from the grandfather generation that I think the quality of I've seen my grandfather practicing it, having the warm water and taking a bath in cold water, not at 8 o'clock, but at 6 o'clock in the morning. So 5-6 o'clock that time he used to get up. Just with the quality of life that my grandfather enjoyed till his age of 92 when he died, the quality of life that he enjoyed, and the quality of life that we enjoyed. I also wish everybody, all of you, to be 92, but the quality of life that we are going to face and will be much different and not so good, I think, with the kind of quality of life they have enjoyed. So I think you all know you all know what it needs to be done. And also, taking a bath in cold water gives you a feeling of being fresh throughout the day, and also helps in your impromptu speaking. So let me call upon the table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Pallavi Auti. When I ask her about
Bhat, pula.
Ask
Hello. Sorry, Chetan. I have to give the timing report.
I will call you. I will call you. Table topic master will call you for the timing report, Niveta. So when I asked about
Chetan, she has to report the speaking timelines.
Yes.
No. Speech. I think I want to report
speech timelines.
Speech, the whatever two.
Okay. I forgot. I'm sorry for that. For both the speakers, Toastmaster Ankit and Vasudeva, can you give the timing guidelines, please?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Vasudeva took 6 minutes and 59 seconds, and Toastmaster Ankit took 6 minutes and 27 seconds. So both are qualified, but as there are only two speakers, there is no vote for the best speaker. Over to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, timer. And my apologies, I just missed that. I should have called the timer for first. Okay, now let's start with the table topics section, which you can practice your impromptu speaking. When I asked the table topic master, Toastmaster Pallavi Auti, about the Indian culture and lifestyle, she has a very clear message for the today's generation, emphasizing on the local and seasonal vegetables to improve the immunity, instead of having the fast food and diet food like the like by many. That's so true. So let's start with the table topic. Over to you, Toastmaster Pallavi Auti.
Thanks. Am I audible, Chetan? Nivedita?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Thanks. Toastmaster of the day, Chetan, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. Good evening, all. India is a diverse country, amazingly rich in culture and heritage. We have seen heritage erudition in Vasudeva's speech as well. So Toastmaster also have one tradition of getting as many as people on speaking platform. So table topic session tries to uphold that tradition and give the opportunity to all the speaker and the guests to speak upon. So after listening these two wonderful speeches, you must be thinking, can I get a chance to speak? Yes, of course. You have an opportunity to participate in one of the most interesting and exciting portion of the Toastmaster, that is table topic session. The purpose of this session is to have member practice listening, thinking, speaking on their feet. The skill of speaking on your feet will help you throughout your career, and it will boost your confidence for public speaking. So to help you practice today, I have prepared few topics that will help you to meet this goal. I will also encourage each and every speaker to use word of the day erudition in your speech. Now I will request Nivedita to share the timing guidelines for table topic speeches.
Thank you, table topic master. So for table topics, each member has minimum 1 minute and maximum 2 minutes. So when the speaker will reaches 1 minute, I'll show the green card. When speaker reaches midpoint, that is 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card. And when speaker reaches to 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. There are only 30-second grace only after the red card, and I'll give my timing report when called upon. Thank you, and over to you, table topic master.
Yeah, thanks Nivedita for timing guidelines. Now I will request all Toastmasters as well as guests to volunteer and speak on the topic which I'll give it to you. Can I get the first volunteer? Palak, Sanchit, Anshul, you can also participate. Toastmaster Kshitij, are you there? Toastmaster Shirish.
I am timer.
Yeah, he's a.
I am grammarian. Hello.
Okay, fine. Toastmaster Manan.
Yeah, I'm the general evaluator for the day. If allowed, I can.
Please.
Yeah. One sec. If it's okay, Manan, with you, you can go ahead with the table topics.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so topics are very easy, Manan. Let me share my screen. Okay, Manan, you will have to choose any random number from 1 to 8.
8.
Okay. So your topic is Indian cuisine is one of the most popular across the globe. So which is your favorite cuisine and why? Which is your favorite cuisine in India and why?
I have heard it is Indian cuisine, right?
Yes,
Cuisine.
food, Indian food.
Cuisine.
So thank you Toastmaster for such a unique topic of India. I believe Rajma Chawal is one of my favorite cuisine. The main reason behind is the simplicity. You have rice, which is easily digestible, and definitely rajma, which can definitely prepare, or we can start preparing for it at night, and then have it for meal in the morning. The delicacies or the touch in the rajmas, it is simple to digest with not so much masalas into it. So it can be taken as a full course meal without any additional requirement of vegetables or rotis. In Indian tradition, it is said that these two things are sufficient to provide us carbohydrates as well as proteins. So if you look from the angle of the nutrition, I think these two simple things provide enough nutrition to an individual. Also, as Indians, they are light to our pockets. It is very easily available, and wherever you are at any part of the world, it can be easily cooked and prepared. And you don't need any special cooking knowledge also. So person like me can also prepare it, and that I feel after Maggie, this is the most easiest thing I can do it. So that is something I prefer a lot, and the availability and irrespective of the climate, I think this is one sort of food which is easily digestible at any region, at any place, and at any season in India, specifically whether it is in winter or it is during summer. So yes, I believe this is my favorite cuisine right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Manan. So can we have anyone from guest? Palak, Sanchit or Anshul?
I think I'll volunteer.
Okay, thanks, Palak.
Yeah, I'll just start my video. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, sure. Till that, I'll just share my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Palak, can you see my screen?
1 sec. Okay, 1 sec.
Choose any number. Sorry, don't choose number. Can I, if you see my screen?
I can see your screen. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just spin it for you.
Sure.
Okay. So Palak, your question is, which Indian custom you see is the most important?
Sorry, Pallavi, I'm not able to hear you.
Pallavi, there is some network.
Pallavi, your voice is breaking.
Yeah.
Pallavi, you'll have to go ahead with someone else if you can't hear Palak.
I think she has a problem. It's not Palak. So just give, I think.
Give a minute.
I think she may join back. I think
her topic was, which is the Indian.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Because
she's back. Can you speak your topic again, Pallavi?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. It was not audible.
No.
Yeah, Palak, which Indian custom you see is the most important one and why we should keep following it? You got the topic?
Yeah, I got the topic. Okay. Okay. So I have been raised in an environment where respecting elders is one of the most prominent values that you are taught since birth. And I think that is one of the qualities of the Indian culture that that encompasses a lot of knowledge within it. You don't just respect your elders for the mere fact that they are elder to you, but for the knowledge that they have gained throughout their lifetime through their own mistakes and looking at others. That is something of value that we need to extract from them. And that is the reason why you respect your elders. I believe in any other culture that we go to, whether it's the Western or the European or the Chinese for that matter, there is not much importance given to the fact that, elders are important for their knowledge and the kind of wisdom that they bring into our life, that you can learn from their own mistakes and you can try and avoid those when they are imparting the kind of wisdom to you. I believe that is why I think respecting elders, whether or not you agree with them, is a culture that is inbred in us and should be passed on to the younger generations. Thank you.
Thanks, Palak. Can we have Avantika?
Hi, Pallavi. Yeah, I can go next, but I'm facing some bandwidth problem.
Okay, fine.
I'm on video.
Yeah.
I can continue with the audio.
Yes. I'll just spin it for you. So Avantika, your topic is India is known as land of diversity in terms of religion, caste, race, culture, religion, and food. But still we see unity in diversity. So can you just share your opinion on this, unity in diversity in India?
Sure. Good evening, dear Toastmasters, guests, and all my dear friends. Namaste, hello, Sat Sri Akal, Salam Alaikum. All that you hear on the land, on the same planet, on the same geography called India. All these things mean the same, the welcome to each or any individual on our land, But the way that they greet, the way that they warmly welcome is what is we call the diversity. We all share the same thoughts, but then we still welcome in our own way. Enabling humans to do things in their own way is what we call brings in more creativity. And that's what I think our culture of Indianness, our culture of the nation allows us to do. But all we do, like, there is always a matter of thought. Like, what do you want to really speak? What do you want to really pursue? What do you want to really do upon? So that all depends on the humankind. But whatever we do it for the unity. We do it with peace. And that's what I call as a land of diversity, a land of different food, different culture, different thoughts, yet a land of togetherness. And I think that's the most that we saw during this hard time of the year of 2020. And we all dealt it so well together. And that's what I call our India, my India, and your India. Thank you so much. Thanks, Pallavi.
Thanks, Avantika.
Yeah, I'll go next. Hello.
Who is? Okay, yeah. Thanks, Babu. Okay. So, Toastmaster Babu, you have the topic on Indian wedding. It is the most important tradition of India. Can you just share your thoughts on its positive and the negative sides, if any? Indian wedding, positive and the negative sides.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. We've all heard of the great fat Indian wedding. And the reason why it is so called is obviously because it has got so many facets to it, spread over so many days, that I think at the end of the wedding, there are two people who wished that they would never get married again, and that is the bride and the groom, for all the things that they are literally subject to in those few days of the wedding. But that's on a very lighter note. The Indian wedding is a wedding which many in the family look forward to, whether it is of their children, of their nephews and nieces, or any relatives or friends. And that is because it brings to the forefront so many different aspects of the Indian life, the Indian way of thinking, the Indian culture, the Indian tradition, the Indian food, and what have you, a whole diversity of thoughts, actions, deeds, and culture. So I would say that there is a lot of interest, a lot of fun that is associated with an Indian wedding. Of course, the downside to all of this, I would say, is that if you take the poor father or the mother who has got to spend for the wedding, who has got to organize the wedding, that perhaps can be a nightmare for them, especially on the financial side, because very often it happens that you have to pander to the society, you have to pander to relatives, and whether you have a budget or not, you've got to ensure that the wedding is conducted as per the norms that is laid out for your community. But having said all of this, if we look at this aspect as once in a lifetime occurrence, if you have one child, or if you have two, you can say twice in a lifetime occurrence, I would still say that it is worth uh, the wedding, that it is worth the enjoyment, it is worth the money. Over to you, table topics master.
That was very nice, Toastmaster Babu. Next, we have Toastmaster Dinesh. Can you, Rajkaran, can you please spotlight Dinesh? Yeah. So number one topic is, Dinesh, for you. Throughout the year in India, we celebrate many festivals. So which is your favorite festival?
Able topic master Pallavi, you have raised a very pertinent question. Which festival we all, or sorry, I look forward? To me, fellow Toastmasters, Raksha Bandhan is a festival which I always look forward to. I am reminded of a time when I was in college and I happened to be in my earlier hometown, Calcutta, during Raksha Bandhan Day, which was not a regular feature because I was studying in Allahabad and I used to remain out on most of the time for my studies. On the Raksha Bandhan Day, I usually had some what you call religion sister. My friend's sister used to tie Rakhi on me. And I don't know how she came to know about my being in Calcutta, and she gave a call for me to attend the Raksha Bandhan. And she organized it in such a wonderful fashion that has left a mark on me, on my mind, even today. And I often talk about this with her whenever I meet. Friends, Raksha Bandhan is definitely one of the festivals which I'm sure all of you look forward. Thank you. Thank you. Over to TTM Pallavi.
Thanks, Dinesh. Can we have Aroshi?
Hi.
Yeah, hi Aroshi.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Let me screen it for you.
Okay. Give me number 7.
No. Number 7 is already been
select
done.
on its own. Oh, okay.
So Aroshi, you know the rules. I think you have joined us late. You have heard me?
I don't think so. Just brief me. I mean.
Okay. So Aroshi, I will give you one topic on which you will have to speak at least for 2 minutes.
Okay.
You'll have to give a try. This will be like unprepared topic for you. Okay.
Pallavi, Aroshi is a Toastmaster. Toastmaster, don't worry.
Okay, fine. So Aroshi, your topic is India is full of traditions. So which is the tradition in your family is followed mostly and why?
Okay. So as India is a country full of traditions, and as South Indians and Mangaloreans to be particular, I actually don't know which one we celebrate a lot because we're born and brought up in Bombay. So we don't really celebrate, we celebrate everything just like everyone else. And we don't have particularly something. But recently I found out that Gudi Padwa is also a new year for us Mangaloreans, which I had no idea about. So we have started celebrating that in a nice way. And we Gudi Padwa is something we do puja. My mom likes to do puja on that day. We sit together as a family. If we want, we eat good food. So that is one thing as a family we do the most. But my mom gives, because we've grown up in an environment where we've seen everyone celebrating every other festival. So we also celebrate Navratri, where my mom does puja on Navratri. We eat good food. We celebrate it like everybody else does in their home. You know, Diwali, we all dress up, we all prepare. We have certain foods that we prepare for Diwali, which is karanja and chakli. My grandmom used to really like to make all those stuff and give it to our relatives. As of now, we're still not able to keep that tradition alive to give it to our relatives, because it's a lot of work to do, you know, to cook all of that stuff, prepare all of it. But it was a nice tradition when we used to do that. We used to give it to the family. Our relatives would give us something in return for Diwali. And it was we would get together and we would sit and enjoy everything. Okay. And what else? So this is what I celebrate. I celebrate everything. We don't really have something very much in particular. Has the timer crossed? I can't see the timer screen.
Yes. You can see the timer Nivedita's.
Yeah, it is right now.
Yeah. Thanks, Aroshi. Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we have Kshitij Kotak?
I am here, but I can't start my camera.
Okay, that's fine.
You can already see you, Kshitij.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah. If you didn't know, we were.
Let me spin for you, Kshitij. I'll choose the topic for you. Okay, so your topic is, have you participated in any traditional program where you have to dress up in any of the traditional attire? Can you share your experience?
Well, the most traditional attire and the festival that I'm currently being a part of is that I'm talking in front of the screen without really knowing that my camera was on all the time, being in the most traditional clothes, which is a t-shirt and pajama. And I have not been forced to take part in that, to take part in this festival. But unfortunately for all of us, work from home has become a festival of kind. When it comes to the real Indian festivals, we all dress up at different times in different festivals, and they are supposed to be traditional clothes. Unfortunately, even when I wear a kurta, I wear jeans below it. So that's what I call traditional as far as I'm concerned. Anyone asking you to put up clothes, anyone asking you to wear clothes which you are uncomfortable with, and you make a spectacle of yourself, just like I'm making a spectacle of myself right now by speaking on camera without realizing that it was on for such a long time and looking like a fool. And in addition to that, Pallavi calls out my name. She did call out the first time, and I did not switch on my camera, nor did I get off the mute button. And here is the festival as far as I'm concerned. And I really don't know whether the timer is timing me green, red, or yellow, which is the reason I'm keeping on talking without really knowing whether I'm making sense or not. But the festival, according to me, is being able to express myself, wearing an attire of who I am, without having to bother about who's going to judge me in Toastmasters. And that's a festival of sorts. And thank you so much, Toastmasters, for giving me that opportunity of being myself, of being what I am, and having a festival of being able to speak to you when there is no one around except wife and your family to fight with, talk to, and listen to. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kshitij, for sharing your thoughts. It's very different. Timer, do we have time for one or are we done? Nivedita?
We have time. You can ask one or two guests.
Yeah, we can.
Guest is already done.
Ashish Parab is there. We have Ashish Parab on the phone.
Ashish. Ashish, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, but there is some bandwidth issues, so
Okay,
maybe.
okay. So there is last topic, so I'm not going to spin Ashish for you.
Yeah.
So in India, there are lots of places to travel and visit. So which is your favorite place, which gives you the idea on the how the Indian culture and heritage is wide and huge?
Thanks, Toastmaster, for this opportunity to speak in this forum. Actually, I like mostly my native place, which is Konkan, which I regularly go, every year, maybe once or twice in a year. And the festivals which are celebrated in Konkan are really great. Like, the Ganpati festival, the Holi festival, which is there right now. So if you'll see the culture-wise, it's really a wonderful culture, which everyone should imbibe, which is there in our Konkan area. And other than that, maybe I have traveled a lot of places, but I like my native the most. So that is what the thing is. That's all I think.
Okay, thanks, Ashish. Can I request timer Nivedita to share the timing report?
Hello. Thank you, Table Topic Master. So Manan took 1 minute 52 seconds. Palak took 1 minute 33 seconds. Avantika took 1 minute 37 seconds. Babu took 2 minute 14 seconds. Dinesh took 2 minute 5 seconds. Arushi took 2 minute 15 seconds. Kshitish took 2 minutes 8 seconds. And Ashish took 57 seconds. So except Ashish, everybody, all are qualified. So I'll request Zoom Master to share the names for the best table topics speaker. Thank you, and over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thanks, Nivedita. So thank you all for your participation and sharing your great and diverse thoughts on the Indian culture and traditions. So with this, I will end this session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Chetan.
Thank you, Pallavit. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Let's give a warm round of applause to those who participated in today's topic and for the lovely topic that gave by the Table Topic Master. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, without waiting much, I think let's start the next section, the evaluation. I think which makes the Toastmaster meeting better than any other public speaking platform. So when I ask about our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Manan, about the Indian lifestyle that he likes the most, his answer was very simple. Drinking water after rising early helps cleansing the digestive system. It's a very simple thing to do, and it helps you avoid a lot of your disease that you may contact in the time to come. So with that thought, over to you, Toastmaster, over to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Manan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Chetan, for giving me this opportunity. So evaluation, as they say, is the breakfast of the champion. So we have our evaluation split into 3 parts. So let us quickly move on to the first part, wherein the evaluators, our seasoned Toastmasters, would be evaluating the prepared speeches which we had today. So let me call upon the first evaluator of the day.
Manan,
Timing.
you need to call the timer first.
Sorry. So let me first of all call upon the timer of the day, Nivedita, to just tell us about the timing details for evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. For evaluation, the speaker or the speech evaluator has time 2 to 3 minutes. I'll show green card when the time reaches 2 minutes. When the time reaches 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll show yellow card. And when the speaker reaches 3 minutes, I'll show red card. The speaker has 30 seconds grace, 30-second grace before the green card and after the red card. I'll share my report when called upon. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. And now let me call upon the first evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Yashokrita, who would be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Vasudev. Over to you, Toastmaster Yashokrita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manan. A person without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. On this note, a very good evening to the General Evaluator, to my dear Toastmasters and my dear guests. Toastmaster Vasudeva's speech entitled A Valuable Inheritance took us on a journey to visit the beautiful heritage sites of India. He was addressing Project 2, and Toastmaster Vasudeva successfully achieved his purpose with an informative speech talking about the beautiful heritage sites of India. He began his speech with a question: what does heritage mean to you? Which inclined us to listen to the speaker. And then he went on talking about the different heritage sites like Tehu district in Pune, Alora in Aurangabad, and Virupaksha temple in Hampi, and talked about the interesting facts and history about these places with a clear and a loud voice, which showed that the speaker was confident and prepared. His erudition of these heritage sites kept us engaged till the last minute. His speech complemented with the theme of today, India's cultures and lifestyles. Don't know if this was done intentionally, but this added more value to the meeting. What I enjoyed the most about this speech was Vasudeva's effort of creating a presentation. He made use of photos which helped us relate to the speaker even more. His speech was short and crisp, and it was easy to understand and remember. However, I have some recommendations to make his speech a greater one. I felt there was a miss of pause in the speaker's speech. For example, when he asked, "What does heritage mean to you?" he could have taken a pause, given a few seconds for the audience to reflect upon themselves. Secondly, I would like to say that hand gestures draws attention to the important parts of the speech. I would encourage the speaker to use it more often. Conclusion is the last part of something. When the speaker mentioned, "In conclusion, I would like to say," he was supposed to sum up his speech. However, he went on speaking for a minute or so. This practice can be avoided and can be worked upon. Vasudeva's speech was on the point. He could have made it even more interesting by adding his personal experience to one of the heritage sites of India. All in all, I would like to say that it was a great investment of 7 minutes to learn something from Toastmaster Vasudeva. I wish you good luck for your future speeches. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yashokrita. Now moving ahead, let me call upon the second evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sunil, who would be evaluating the speech given by Toastmaster Ankit. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunil.
Having been in Toastmaster for many years, I haven't had the opportunity to be a mentor because I was always known as a tormentor. Today, Toastmaster Ankit shared his two cities, a tale of two mentors. Let me at the outset tell you, Toastmaster Ankit, I didn't like your speech. I loved it. Your speech had all the vital ingredients that would, having looked carefully at the 8 parameters that you were to follow in this level 2 project 3, I realized that you had done a lot of justice right from the time you chose the topic and you shared your experience of your mentors, as it was to share everything that you have learned as a prodigy in Toastmasters. Your first Toastmasters speech was eloquent and showed how you traveled on the journey to become an erudite speaker when your Toastmaster passionately shared and you vividly described like two lovers looking for a place to find some hidden communication, you and your mentor look for places to share lovely tidbits. You took care that you were clear, you had a good eye contact, you had all the gestures and audience connection that were required from the speech. And you were very detailed about the suggestions and how in your first corporate speeches you did well. Just like the tale of two cities, somewhere in the second tale, you shared the namesake Manish, how his mentorship style was so different. And it was very encouraging to hear how you evaluated your two evaluators and mentors in your journey. While I loved your speech, I thought there were two things that could have made your journey even more colorful. One was that while you were so detailed about the suggestions your first mentor gave you, you chose to talk about the non-mentorship and habits and interests that you all shared, which dominated the second tale of your mentor. Overall, I think your speech was very eloquent, and I feel not only you have been a good mentor, you are going to become a good mentor in times to come. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil, for that evaluation. Now let me ask the timer Nivedita to give us the timings for both the evaluation.
Toastmaster Yashokrita took 3 minutes 15 seconds and Toastmaster Sunil took 3 minutes 16 seconds. Both are qualified, but as there are only 2 evaluations, there will not be any vote. But I would like to congratulate both speakers as well as the evaluators for their erudite speeches as well as evaluations. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. And now let me call upon my team, that is the grammarian, R counter and timer. As we can see, the timer has already given her details, but let me call upon the R counter of the day, the one whose featured tag says off the grip. So let us see how he captures off the grip people or the Toastmasters who had attempted today. Over to you, R counter, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manan. So today we had Vasudeva, Ankit, Manan, Palak, Avantika, Babu, Dinesh, Arohi, Kshitij, Ashish. These were the participants. So I'll start with Vasudeva. So Vasudeva used crutch word 6 times, and repeated words 3 times. Ankit, repeat word 3 times. That's all he used in his speech. Manan, crutch word used 3 times, so once, and short pause once. Palak used crutch words 10 times. Once, you know. Avantika used crutch word twice. Babu again twice. Dinesh used crutch word twice. And short pause once. Arushi used crutch word 8 times. And you know once. Kshitij, I didn't find anything in his speech. Ashish used crutch word once. Filler phrase, you know once, and so once. So that is all about what I have noticed in this speech. Over to you, Man.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for that description. Now let me call upon the grammarian of the day, the person who wears many hats. Sometimes a radio jockey, and sometimes a grammarian. Today he would be the person who would be giving us guidance regarding our English language use. Over to you, Toastmaster Sirish.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The today's word erudition. The word used by erudite people. Pallavi used twice. Sunil, then Yashokrita used also. Then grammatically improper grammatical usage. Festival we celebrated, instead of that festival we celebrate. And I like few words or quotes today's speeches. Rich heritage, then cocoon of interversion, modern day of magician, culture of Indianness. Then I think that cuisine is the set of dishes coming from various regions, Indian cuisine, then Italian cuisine, Mexican cuisine, and this is one of these Indian cuisine or various dishes. Dish is one of that. So this is where to take or to general evaluate.
Thank you for highlighting that point because even I think I got confused. So thank you very much. So now moving ahead for my report, which is the general evaluator report. As I'm happy to share with you that as we have made a tradition to start on time, we could start on time, and the credit goes for that to the Zoom master who started with the introduction. That was followed by the presiding officers who definitely call upon our guest and had asked them for their introduction. So we as a club could maintain our traditions on that. Moving ahead, I would like to specifically congratulate Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chetan, who brought this wonderful concept of Indian traditions and values. It was so unique that as we can see ahead in the table topics, multiple topics were covered under this umbrella. So this has such a unique variety, and it was easy for us to do that. But one point I would like to ask Toastmaster Chetan is, we could find that there was some issues with the audio quality, which I believe could have been rehearsed earlier prior to the start of the meeting and could have been checked, because these are certain things which, if avoided, would be better during the meeting itself. But overall, the topic was wonderful. Moving ahead, I think the speeches today were absolutely diametrically opposite. One, emphasizing the Indian tradition, and second, emphasizing the Toastmaster tradition of mentorship. So in that way, they had some sort of concept which actually was we all are related to it. So I'd like to congratulate both the speakers. Of course, we had seasoned Toastmaster who was evaluating them. So they brought out the points which we all can take home for improving our speeches. A special mention to the tabletop, the table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Pallavi. I think the topics and always her presentation is quite unique, where the participant feels that he's involved into that. And to add to that, all the topics were related to today's theme, and it gave us an opportunity to freely express our views. So I think that kudos to her for introducing such a inclined topics which were very easy and also relatable to the theme. All in all, the meeting was good. Only one more suggestions I have is, we could see that there were few interjections in between where we are asking, or we have found that people seem to be speaking. So that could be avoided in future, so that the entire meeting looks seamless, and we can continue with the strong tradition of VTM. So on this note, I would like to conclude, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chetan.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the detailed evaluation that you just gave. I think I just want to end with the one last message, that be proud of the land you belong to, and be mindful of the lifestyle our ancestors have tried to pass upon us. If we can learn something from them, then the kind of life that we expect for ourselves, the healthy lifestyle, and with the right tradition, I think we can continue with what we have received from our fathers and our grandfathers. So finally, people, I would like to take this opportunity, would like to thank all the Toastmaster guests present today. Without their present interest and support, this successful meeting wouldn't have been possible. And I return the control to the presiding officer, Babu Narayan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. That was a wonderful ending to your debut session. In fact, first up, let us all put our hands together, because this has been the debut session of the Toastmaster Chetan Wadia for playing this role. Wonderfully done. While I would like to, of course, congratulate the tag team as well and all the speakers and role player, in particular, I would like to mention the efforts of our VP Education, who very gallantly took up the role of the timer despite her own role commitments, and of course for a wonderfully hosted table topic session. So let us give them a very special round of applause. Actually, this entire week has been a bit of an erudite or a journey in erudition for me, because I have been attending a few Toastmaster sessions, and in fact the one that I attended last was on Indian instruments, and that really opened up a whole world of learning about all the Indian instruments that many of us probably don't, we are not aware of it. And then today, of course, it was something on Indian culture, lifestyle. There was a speech on the Indian temples. So I think the more one gets involved in trying to learn and understand the Indian culture, tradition, and styles, I think you get to know that it's a huge, huge ocean, and perhaps even one life or one entire lifespan is not enough for us to understand the kind of diversity that exists in the Indian traditions. So let's all start delving into it as soon as possible, and before we call it a day in our own lives, let us get to know a lot about Indian tradition and culture. Before moving further, may I call upon the guests once again and try and understand as to how they liked today's meeting, if they have any particular feedback for us. Guests, would you like to come on and say a few words once again? Sanchit? Sanchit, are you there?
Yes.
Let's hear from you.
This was my first session, as I mentioned before, and I have to say I am impressed by pretty much everyone. I certainly want. after attending this session, I certainly want to, uh, you know, be able to speak like some of you guys. Uh, so the, all in all, I really enjoyed the session, and everyone. So I got to know the whole structure of how everything works, and how everyone explained their job. So I have a pretty good idea about it, and I look forward to attending more sessions in the future as well.
Thank you for your kind words, and we look forward to having you here again in our next and future sessions. Palak, what about you?
Hey again. I think I really applaud the structural approach of this entire meeting and the roles that everyone took up very seriously. I believe there is this kind of community feel when you attend meetings from Toastmasters that I have been told about, and I now fully understand that the fact that everyone tries to lift each other by fulfilling their roles is something that is principally a quality of all Toastmasters. I think as I go ahead in the journey, I am pretty sure I'll be able to not only attain my goal of being good at impromptu speeches, but also I think have a very warm set of friends and mentors to talk to and do figure out other things as well. So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for making this platform available for me to speak up. Thank you.
Thank you, Palak. In fact, when you made a mention of your speech, I won't say deficiencies, perhaps at the beginning, definitely that was not on show when you gave your table topics and when you spoke now. I'm sure you have it in you, and in fact, all the guests spoke very well. And I'm sure you're all ready to join Toastmasters. In fact, today you have probably tasted two traditions. One, of course, the Indian tradition via the theme, and the other is the Toastmaster tradition in the form of the structure and how we have gone about the meeting. I would also like to call upon one last guest, Ashish, if he can say a few words. Ashish Parab.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Babu. Actually, it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
I have attended this Toastmaster maybe long back, when it was offline. So maybe at that time I have seen you, I have met you as well. But after that, we we just lost actually during this COVID times and all. So now it's really a very good experience to have it online. And at that time I didn't realize that I need to go for it, because once you step up the ladder of success and you move towards the leadership role, then definitely it is a Toastmaster which can help you actually to sharpen your skills. So I think it was a wonderful experience, and I look forward to have some more speeches. Definitely I will join Toastmasters.
Thank you, Ashish, and you're all welcome again. Okay, moving forward now, we shall come to the awards for the evening. We have two awards because there were only two speakers. We do not have an award for the prepared speech and therefore not for the evaluation. But yes, we have one award for the table topics. And today it has been bagged by I would say, an upcoming Toastmaster. She has been making waves in the past few weeks in various different segments of the Toastmasters meeting. And today, she has bagged the Toastmaster Table Topics Award for table topic speaking. Avantika.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, Avantika. Well done.
Still low on network. Thank you so much.
Good show. And we have an award which we call the Best of Big Three. This is chosen among the Toastmaster of the day, the Table Topics Master, and the General Evaluator. And today it goes to our debut Toastmaster, Toastmaster of the day, Chetan.
Thank
Well
you,
done.
everyone. Thank you.
Well done,
Thanks
Chetan.
to all who voted for me. Thank you.
That was a grand debut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ethan's
Right.
style of folding the hands reminds me of Sarkar movies.
Well, he is doing a practical demonstration of the Indian culture and tradition, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yes, yes.
Okay. Right then. So I think with all the awards done, the guests done, yeah, just to remind you once again of the area contests. Of course, I'm sorry, I think I leave this privilege to our VP Education, Nivedita. I think you can take over for those announcements.
Thank you. And I would like to continue where our presiding officer left. Is the first and most important is the area contest, which is on 10th. And we request all of you to attend this. Don't miss and cheer our contestant Toastmaster Ankit, as well as Toastmaster Sudha. Before that, there is one important announcement, which is by March end, the way we have our all financial, it's a financial end of the year, but similarly, we have to complete our speeches also, or in more simplified, complete our current level also. So, and we have 2 more meetings in this month to go. There are 2 parts to it. There are certain members who have completed the levels but not yet submitted in the TI. So I request them to do it as early as possible. So I would like to take their names: Avantika, Manan, and Yashokrita. So please submit your level completion in the TI so that it will get recorded. And the second but most important part is there are members who are actually on the verge of the second last or the last speeches, so that they can please, they're requesting them to give the speeches and complete their level. For example, here, those members who are present there, the Vasudeva, Dinesh, and Pallavi. So I request these 3 members to come forward, take the slots on 20th or on 27th and complete the speeches. You have any query, any doubt in this? Fine. Of course, it's not only these members, all other members also come forward and take the part in these, take their speech slots, definitely. But we request if these people will complete, we will be able to complete the levels. So I see this as a not only the from the club point of view, but good for each one of us, because this is setting us timeline and complete, which we are pushing slightly ahead. Let's do next time. And it's I'm also doing so. I think we all are in the same boat, but let's do it and complete the levels in this week. Thank you, presiding officer, and over to you.
Thank you, VP Education, for detailing the educational plans for this month. Just a couple of announcements. Of course, one is the usual membership fees, about which we have been writing and talking about. We would like to again urge all our members to come forward and pay up the membership fees for the April to September term. And also, considering that the contests are around the corner, we'll have to make sure that not only are the contestants as members in good standing, we also need to have all the members and the club itself in good standing, which I'm sure we will. But this is only a request going out to all of you to once again send in your membership fees to Chetan. And being the contest season, Virtually, there is a contest which is happening almost every day, I would say, without exaggeration. And this would be, I started off my address with a learning experience, and I can say that this is a kind of learning experience which will hardly get duplicated anywhere else, because the the number of hours of learning that you can get in a contest is phenomenal, and it's so diverse because you get to hear people from different backgrounds, different age groups. So it's definitely a huge learning experience. And considering that we have only 2 contests in a year, so once this season is over, then there won't be any till November or December. So try to at least make it once a week or twice a week, whichever is convenient. You can reach out to any one of us. We are all connected with the district groups, so we can tell you which particular day an event is happening. I mean, apart from the contest, there are also events which are happening. There is something called the Wednesday Wisdom, which happens, I think, at about 8 o'clock or probably 9 o'clock every Wednesday on any particular topic. That's also pretty interesting. There are educational sessions that are happening, considering that each club cannot conduct all of this within the 2 or 3 sessions that it has got. So I think we should all take full advantage of this, being a Toastmaster, and derive the maximum benefit, maximum learning to become erudite Toastmasters. So with that, I think we are almost towards the end of the session here, unless there are any questions from members.
I think Manan had raised the hand.
No, so
Yeah. Manan, yeah.
So no, it was regarding this membership only. So just wanted to inform members that I would be reaching out to them.
Yeah.
Coming days.
Yeah.
Well, so,
Yes. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Right then, with that, we come to the end of today's meeting. All the best for the weekend, and look forward. When is our next 20th, Nivedita? 20th and 27th, right? So 2 more sessions this month.
Yes.
So have a great evening, great week, great Sunday, and